to kind of finish off this this monthly miniature roundup, I would really like to give like a channel shout out. So each month, I'll do a shout out for a channel that I think you guys might enjoy. And the one that I'm going to be shouting out today is the Dice Gods. The Dice Gods are really, really good. They're making lots of content on Infinity, Malifaux, Flames of War. They've been doing a bit of Star Wars Legion as well. And they're now recently been working on some juicy Warcrow info, going over some of the lore as well, getting people excited for that. So please go and check them out. They're really, really fantastic. And yeah, it's been really cool. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's not kind of like what I usually do, but it's something I like to do once a month just to share some of the hobby interest that I have. It's a nice way for me just to unload a lot of the things I'm excited for with you guys. And if there's anything that you think I should be checking out as well, please let me know in the comments below. That would be really, really nice. And of course, usual social media jazz. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that. And I'll see you next month for the Miniature Monthly Roundup. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of the monthly Miniature Roundup. We're going to be basically covering a number of different topics in the miniature hobby. I'm going to try and do this every month. If you've been following my channel in the slightest, you probably know that I cover quite a lot of Infinity. And I do a lot of painting of Infinity models. So we're definitely going to be covering quite a bit of Corvus Belli stuff, but we are going to be touching on some other miniature games as well, and things that I'm interested in, and hopefully some stuff that you're going to be interested in yourself. This is also an opportunity for me to share. Hello there, Rascals. How's it going? You doing well? I've already made a start on the Torchlight Brigade here, and this is as far as I've got at the moment. I've still got some blue to do on the back here. We've got to do the rest of the back. Once that's all in place, then we've got to kind of go in and do all of the guns and things like that. I'm kind of basing it off of my O12 paint scheme that I did for my models in Infinity Defiance. And I'm pretty pleased with how it's looking at the moment. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, things are pretty good. I'm enjoying the Golden Week holiday here. So I've had a few days kind of to myself, which has been incredibly nice. Tomorrow we're off to Wakayama to see the Japanese side of the family, which should be a pretty relaxing time. Still gonna take my computer with me and do some stuff, but keep it fairly simple. I won't be able to stream on Saturday, I'm afraid. So that one's off the table. But yeah, that's kind of where it's at the moment. Right, now how is my paint doing here? It's kind of dried up a little bit, so I'm going to reapply my paint. To the wet palette. I kind of left it open for a while because I had put in a bit too much water into my palette, and so every time I covered it, it went really liquidy. Now I've left it for so long, it's kind of dried, so let's just reapply. Let's make sure that one's in shot so you can actually see what I'm doing with my wet palette, otherwise there's no point in having that video at the top there. But basically going with AK's paints for this one. I've already kind of gone over with a Vallejo dark Prussian blue over the areas that are going to be blue, and then I've got a deep blue, archaic turquoise, and a white. And with these three colours, we do the rest of the blue bits. It's all good. So let's paint the back of this model here. I'm going to try to stay in shot as much as I can. I do with this is I kind of do like triangles on the surfaces. Hey, nice. You got your coffee, I got me beer. It's kind of the end of the day. What's got a beer? And we're going to be basically just kind of roughly figuring out where the light reflections are going to be. I'm just kind of, doesn't have to have any particular rhyme or reason, but I generally find doing them with a little bit of separation in between each of the light reflections is kind of nice. And then nearing the end as well, we'll add on edge highlights as well to kind of tie it all together. That's generally where these ones go with the blue here. So it starts off looking a little bit odd, just like almost random placement a bit, and that's okay. Wait a second, let me see here. It's just bring that up a little bit. There we go. And then we get some of the turquoise. I'll just kind of show this one little bit here, what we're doing. Yeah, just pop that in there. Now last time we were on the video had lots of problems. Please let me know in the chat if you find it very stuttery or anything like that. I'd like to know if you're having any difficulties, because I'm a bit worried that it's starting to crop up more than it used to. So I don't know what's possibly causing my internet laggy problems, but please let me know if it's a problem. Yay, good. Today we're going to have it all going well. That's my feeling. You have alleviated my worries. Right, we take a spot of the white, we mix that in with the archaic turquoise, we make this light, very light blue. And again, we just kind of follow the edges more. Build in a little bit in the middle, follow the edge again. So the edges kind of get a longer line, the middle gets a shorter one. So it's kind of almost like the light is creeping around the edges of the surface. This is what usually I find creates a good effect for this kind of blue shine. Like OSL type of glowing? Not exactly. OSL is a kind of a whole nother bloody thing. OSL is something that I need to do more practice on. That's something perhaps I should focus in on and do. I generally do everything kind of bright, so my OSL doesn't usually work. But if you want something, it's kind of, if you want like swords and stuff to be glowing, kind of the same technique for that. Like if you just want a like bright sword and things, there are kind of some overlaps. The question is though, with something glowing, do you want it to show a reflection of the glow elsewhere around the model? That's kind of the trick. But if you want to do like power swords and stuff, then this is kind of a technique you can use. Yeah, like an orb held by an age to make the orb look like it's glowing, then you want OSL, object source lighting. So that's a tricky one, because what you have to start thinking about there is
that the thing you're painting is producing light. And how does that light affect the rest of the model around it? To make object source lighting work, it's kind of a bit of a, like, my understanding, I'm not particularly good at it, to be honest, so I'll take this with a grain of salt. But my understanding is, if you're going to do object source lighting, you want kind of a lot of the model to be dark. So you paint the model fairly dark, and then the object source lighting can kind of light up areas of the model, and it looks pretty good. If you paint too light, the object source lighting doesn't work so well. Actually, I think I have a model I can show you where I did a bit of object source lighting. It's a bit of an old model that I painted, but I think it's probably one of my better object source lighting efforts. Let me just get that out. I'll show you what I did with that one, because I did it like with a data pad that was glowing into the face. It's for a Hak Islam. Where are my Hak Islam? Yeah. Oh, my Hak Islam are over there. They're behind my painting station there. Oh, let's pop you up there for a minute. Gotta move you. Just a moment. Nearly got him. Let's just... I could have set up a photo station, but I used one of my miniature shelves to prop it up. So I'm just gonna dig in and get it out. It's right at the back there. There we go. Oh, come in. Oh, sorry, lady. She fell over. Oh, another one falling over. Oh no, stupid fingers. Ah, Layla Sharif, are you okay? Let's just put you there for now. Okay. Hello there, Red Razor. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing? Okay, so this is the one I was going to show you. This is the object source lighting that I did. So you can see on his face there's a bit of a glow. That's because this is glowing. So you kind of use a bit of that technique to do the glow, and then I do a lot of infinity painting on stream where I can. But recently I've been doing a lot of my commission work, which has been Shadows of Brimstone, but that one's now finished. So I'm getting back into doing some infinity, and we got the Torchlight Brigade that Corvus Belli were very kind enough to send me, kind of like a review copy. So I very much appreciate that they've given me a new sectorial to paint and prepare. But yeah, this was my little test of OSL. So I painted the model fairly darker than I usually do. So it was pretty dark. It still could have gone probably a bit darker, but then the light is reflecting mostly in the glasses, because the glasses are very reflective, and then I did a softer hue over the face. That was kind of the idea, and you can see a little bit in the armor as well, just being reflected into the armor, just a teensy bit. So I was using a glazed medium to really knock that down and make it really thin, and then placing it on there. And that was kind of fun. But that's probably my best attempt at OSL that I've done. I really don't do it, and I wish I would do it more, but I don't. So I do just shiny NMM. That's kind of my thing. So that's what I've got here. Thank you very much, Rascals. Yeah, that's kind of the OSL for you. So OSL has a bit of a different technique. So if you're doing like a mage's orb glow, you want to be thinking about where the light reflects and things like that. Kind of cool. So Red Razor, are you painting anything today? What are you up to? So right now I've got to, this is always the toughest part, is figuring out where you're going to put your reflections. So the way I see it is this particular bit of him is facing up, the metal of it is curling up a little bit, so it's going to catch a bit of light as it curls up. However, light sometimes bounces off of things in weird ways depending on what's around. So doing it completely the same in all places is not actually very natural and looks a bit off. So you've got to be careful with that. A wreck diorama of the Titanic in 350 scale. Cool. Are you doing all of the like the water effects as well? With how are you doing the water? Are you using UV resin or resin pores, or what are you doing with that? Oh, a spy! You got your Torchlight in the mail. Fantastic. The going live notification said I'm painting tag raid. Oh, weird. Okay, that's weird. I have to check on that one. A resin pour. Cool. Those are so much fun to watch. More stressful to do. How are you going to be painting your Torchlight Brigade Aspire? Which notification was it that said that I was doing tag raid? Was that from Twitch? Or on, like on the Discord, or? I need to check where my thing's going weird. Okay, I have to check that. I need to update that. I'm sure we could try and fit Torchlight Brigade into tag raid. That means for all my shadows of brimstone, it probably said I'm painting tag raid as well. I must say, the other day I really enjoyed painting the extra. That was cool. Makes me really want to get all of the extra reinforcement pack. So I got the Cascuda, I got the EXO. Kind of nice to have the rest of them. They're kind of fun to paint, those bug boys. I think a lot of people are starting to get their Torchlight Brigade, and I've only just had a chance to start painting them, so I'm a bit slow on the mark with them. Hey there, FEX. Yeah, I'm good, thank you very much. I've not done any battle tech. actually. No, I have not. I've been tempted to like pick up a Gundam model and repaint it. Because I'm in Japan and they're cheap and plentiful here. I just don't know where to... I don't know what would be a good one. But the idea would be to paint it up nice and then step 1, buy Gundam. Step 2, paint it up nice. Step 3, profit. Yeah. So we are now kind of adding in the last highlight on this little bit here. Get close to white now. Just kind of picking out points and then hitting any edges like that. And up the top there. And a little bit in the middle there. There we go. I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out. I really like it. I think it's looking fun. Is it NMM or NMM? Yes, it's NMM. Oh, sorry, I thought it was the same thing. So it's non-metallic metal, so it's NMM. And then the other one is true metallic metal, which is TMM, which I don't really do very much of. But I will be doing it for this big boy that I've just kind of primed today, which is he's so big I can't fit him on the bloody screen. So he's like, paint me. So yeah. So the difference between them is true metallic metal uses paint with metallic flakes in. Do I have any models? Oh, I got my test model here. Here we go. My little trusty little test model. So I can show you. So if you have a look here, this bit here, this is a true metallic paint. It has metallic pigment in it, it has metallic flakes in it, and so it has a natural shine according to the light source that is reflecting off of it. Okay, so it's very shiny because it has metallic kind of metal flakes in there. However, this part here, this gold here, this is non-metallic metal. See, if I move it, the shine does not move with it because it's not reflecting off of the light. It is a fake reflection that I've painted with matte paints without any metal paint, no metallic paints in it. So this one is a much more stylized approach to doing metal. Like using metallic paints will just give you like that metal look, which is great and fine. But if you wanted to do a stylized approach, you can do non-metallic metals using matte paints to kind of fake it a little bit. I personally love doing non-metallic metals. I think they're a lot of fun, and you can kind of tell a story with it, you can force perspective with it, things like that. That's kind of fun. However, if I'm painting an army or like a large number of models, larger than 10 kind of thing, and if I'm doing like a full army, then I'll probably use true metallic metals. I did it for my Orc Cruel Boys that I sold. Kind of painted them up and sold them. And they used true metallic metal. And when I use true metallic metal, my favorite paint to use is this one, the Vallejo acrylic metal color airbrush colors. Don't use it in the airbrush though. I use it because it's really fun to play around with. And you can change the colors of it by adding in inks and things. It's really good stuff. Yes. That's pretty much exactly it, as the Spire says there. Yeah, Rascal. Yeah, that test model does need a name. Any suggestions? maybe that's something we could use the points for as well. Is like, because we were talking about the channel points. Maybe if you accumulate a lot, you can kind of request a particular technique to be shown on a test model. So we just need a name for him. Tim the test model. Tim is my dad's name as well. I'm now kind of imagining my dad on the bike. He loves bicycles as well, so it kind of tracks. I'll just call him Timothy. Bob the biker. Demo-san. Fredo Bob. Maybe I have to put like a little thread up on the Discord or something for people to jump in and be like, maybe we should call him this. Right now, I'm not being very creative. I can't think of good names myself. Do it like a glow coming from these little exhaust ports as well, so that will be a kind of OSL, I guess, but I'm not really going to do OSL with them. Just going to make them glowy-ish. Let's try and get this last bit here as well. And then we'll have all of the blue done, which is kind of cool. Then I can and R over the all of the guns and things. Yes, you can create someone. You can force someone to look at it at a certain angle. Yeah, to an extent. Like, this is NMM. I think you can still enjoy this from many angles. I think it still looks good. Obviously, it's not reacting to the light in a natural way. But as a thing to kind of like look at, like, it creates a heavy amount of contrast, which I think makes also models look really good, in my opinion. Plus also, I'm doing this for painting and not for rushing out lots of models as fast as I can. So I want to take the more painstaking approach, because I'm probably going to learn more from that. That's kind of, I guess, my take on it. Indeed, rule of cool is good, but you know, it's subjective. Some people absolutely hate it. They're like, I hate seeing it. I don't like it. Make it go away. And then I just kind of stick more of it in their face, and they're like, no. but each to their own. Generally, you can do things faster with TMM. However, saying that, you can still approach TMM in the same way that you do NMM. And that is kind of like, again, it's a heavy, intensive version of true metallic metals, where you mix in both the reflective metallic paints with placement of light as well, where you kind of change the color and the lightness, the contrast of the actual metallic paints as well, to kind of double the effect almost. That's also something that you can do. It's something that I'd need to practice. I don't think I'll be particularly good at that one, but there's some really, really nice models that do that, and it's really cool. So all of these are just options and tools in your tool belt, and you can kind of choose what you want to do. I'm going to be doing metallic for Angron when I get round to him. I think it also, for the kind of the theme of 40k, like Infinity has a bit of an anime leaning, and so kind of having everything kind of painted and bright and things, I think gives it a really good, I think it suits the models and the design of the models. I think NMM looks good on these. On 40k models, I would say I think I'd probably lean more towards doing TMM, true metallic metals, because like the whole grimdark thing, it's so much easier to do that with real metals kind of thing. Sometimes this style looks too clean for something like 40k. You can still kind of get it like dirty and grim and things, but it's easier to do it with true metallics, because you can add washes and things very easily to kind of make them look grimy, and it's much easier to weather metallic painted things than it is to do it for the non-metallic stuff. So when you want to do things like weathering and stuff like that, it's really good. But yeah, there's lots of different things you can. There's lots of different techniques to approach and try, and we're all learning all the time. Every model that we do, get a little bit closer to that place we want to be with our painting. I say that I'll never be where I want to be with my painting. I'll always be grinding towards trying to be better. Yeah, that trim is definitely a good way to go. It just takes a little bit of practice. The biggest thing to take away with NMM is your painting in contrast. So the idea is you go from very, very dark to very, very light in quite a small space as well. So the transitions are very sudden. That's what kind of gives a reflective look to the paint. But you've got to make sure that each layer is visible though across that transition. That's the tricky bit. That's sometimes even the bit that I struggle with. But I get better and better. Yeah, it's like layering. The way I approach it is a bit like layering. I start very, very dark and I work my way up to very, very light. I basically go in smaller and smaller areas, except with layering, I'm like general layering. It will be a smaller level of transition in terms of from dark to light, usually in a bit of a wider, broader pattern kind of thing, a bit of a smoother transition across. I don't know why you're falling out of focus. With this though, with NMM, it is very much about the sudden contrasts that kind of give it that metallic quality. So, like the chest plate and things, this is like semi-metallic. It's like not fully metallic. It's like you can almost imagine like the Space Marine plasteel type of thing, where it's reflective, but it's not very reflective. It's pretty diffuse. So the change of color from the base of purple. So if you actually look at this angle, you can see I started this model purple, and then I worked up to red, and then a scarlet and a white scarlet for the final reflection that I hand painted on. And it's a little bit more subtle, so it doesn't look metallic as such. However, the contrast on the shoulder pads and everywhere else is like very, very sudden contrast shifts. Yes, I used an airbrush for the base coat. So they started off, I can show you what they look like actually. When it starts off, this is basically all the airbrush work. Here's one like just airbrushed. So I started off with, oh god, you can see where I've missed the metal bits there. That's not very good. You can see there's this kind of color change shift. So I did a dark purple. Then I sprayed from overhead with a white to kind of highlight areas. And then I hit it with a red ink as well. And so the red ink basically just coated the white so that it was nice and bright, and it transitioned fairly well into the purple. And that kind of gives that tone there. And then I kind of go in with the scarlet to highlight everything and edge highlight and try and make it pop a little bit more. So you can see where that's happened in that one. Okay, so I've got a long way to go with all of these. It's gonna be fun. But if I get one down that I'm really happy with, then that's a win. Yeah, you could use oils. I'm not great with, I haven't had enough practice using oils yet. But I think, yeah, they could be quite good. I usually do an oil wash, and that's when I do like to use metallics. I think an oil wash over metallics looks lovely. But yeah. Oil painting is something I'm going to have to experiment more with. I kind of do it for washes, but nothing else at the moment. Okay. Right, so we've kind of done all the blue parts on this now, so he's nice and shiny. He's a shiny boy. I've got to do the guns and all like the other little bits and pieces around his body. He's a different beast, isn't it? Yeah, he's a very different beast. The interesting thing about oils, I guess, is kind of like the curing time is a lot longer, so you kind of have a lot more chance to move things around and mix and blend and stuff like that. It's kind of interesting. But I generally use them just for as washes, which I find incredibly fun, because, do I have one? Oh yeah. The dragon I did was with, I can't get that thing out, it's so massive it doesn't fit in the space here. But the Steindrager dragon I did, that one has a lot of oil washing in it. And oil washing is fun because you basically just wash the model with the oil and cover all of your work, and it's a bit scary at first because you've basically just covered your entire model that you painted in acrylics, and now you can't see any of the acrylics beyond the oil paint. And then you just get a sponge and you start wiping it off, and it creates this wonderful transition, and it kind of blends the acrylics quite nicely as well. So it's just really good. It's really handy. It's a nice technique to learn. Okay, so these guns, These guns. Now this one's not a gun. This one is actually he's a paramedic. So this is his kind of medication injector thingamajiggy. We've got a bunch of bags as well on around his tool belt. So we've got to do those a different color as well. Oil washes should be my next stream. When I paint Angron, there's gonna be oil washes in that. So when I eventually do Angron, I will do some oil washes. That'll be kind of a fun one. That one's not an easy one just to pick up and show, because there's a bit of preparation needed for oil washes and things, but they're fun. You can actually see me do an oil wash in the videos if you wanted to see some of those. In one of them when I did the Cruel Boys, and another one is when I did the Steintrager, which is quite a recent video. Now, I gotta paint this bloody thing, and I. Okay. I need some black. First of all, I think we just go over the whole gun in black first, just to kind of make sure we got it kind of covered, as I would say. So we start off that way, and we'll work from there. I think that's the way to go. Otherwise, I'm gonna miss things, and it's much better to just go from a black base so I can see it all stood out against the rest of the model. Now, we're not gonna have just a black gun. It's gonna be kind of a modern style rifle kind of colors, where you kind of got parts of the kind of a beige plastic type of, or like the beige parts of the paneling. But for now, we can just kind of go over the whole thing in black, just so we know it's there, where it is. I think that's what we should perhaps do with all of the objects and things that are around the body that we want to change to a different color. It will remind us where it is, and if we miss it, it hopefully still gives some contrast without standing out too badly. And it's going to have a lot of little bits of like metal and things like that. So again, we're doing NMM for the metal, so starting off from black is not too bad. I have already recorded my next YouTube video. I just got to edit it and put it out there. I'm hoping to actually get it out for the weekend. Would be kind of nice. So we've had a couple of videos out, and it seems people are interested in me doing maybe a short video as well on how to do the this NMM effect. So I think that's also something I'll work on. Right now, hobby motivation is very high. As soon as I'm back to work, though, I'm probably going to be like, bah, I'm too tired. It makes me realize actually how much work takes it out of me. Oh, to be 18 again. If I was 18, I wouldn't care about painting. I'd be doing other things and wasting my time with other stuff. Thank you very much, VX. Yeah, I'm really happy with how the blues come out. I think it looks pretty cool. I've just got to do it for another... At the moment, I've got another 9 models in the set to paint. But there's also another 6 models, well, actually another 7 models from the expansion, the reinforcements expansion for O12 that I've got, and also I still got to paint Saladin as well, the liaison officer, but I kind of want to save him for my Haq Islam possibly. Forgot about him. I've seen on him for a few years now. There's just, yeah, there's a few of the Infinity Defiance models I haven't painted, some of the special characters. And the only kind of extra characters that I painted was like Kusanagi. Maybe a couple of others. Where do I keep my painted miniatures? I've got, I just get like 100 yen store cases. I kind of keep them in there, or I keep them in a drawer. Space is always an issue here. Either that, or they're like in a, like for Defiance, they're just in the box. I got a carry case as well from yeonks ago when I was doing 40k and I was taking armies to Osaka to play. So now that's kind of holding on, I think, a lot of my Malifaux stuff that I haven't taken out for a while. Speaking of Malifaux, I also... the case I have is just basically a simple one. This is kind of like the insert case, that kind of thing. And then it just kind of goes in. Kind of keeps them protected to some extent from the outside. But yeah, it would be nice to have a place to really keep all my models. I just don't really have anything. So this is why right now I'm at a point where I'm trying not to buy too many things. However, saying that, I'm getting bloody Apex Legends, the board game that's going to take up so much space. That's kind of like that. I'm like, that's my last Kickstarter for now. But I really want to get Warcrow, not the Kickstarter, but the actual skirmish game. The models look so awesome. I think the game will play really well as well. So I'm kind of like, save some money for that one. I'm not going to be able to get it on release, I don't think. Now, these vents on the top here, I think I'm going to do these. No, I'm not going to. No, I'm not. Yeah. They've got like, there's going to be 6 factions, I believe, at the moment. Which some of that comes in adventures, I believe. But yeah, there's one which is like a full body horror group. They're pretty nasty looking. They should be a fun lot. Ooh, I'm now seeing bare metal showing up on my, you can see it there. Oh no, oh no, that's very bad, very poor work of me. I mean, you don't really see it unless you're looking from below, but it's not good. It could at least be purple. The problem is, like, CB's minis have so much detail in them, but it also means sometimes those details kind of cause you to miss stuff. Right, I think that covers most of like the incidental little things. We've got to just do the back. Oh, there's another. Has he got another pistol thing there or something? Oh, it's a knife. He's your knife. So we're going to try and let's try and cover that. Imagine it's mag locked to his side there. Painting all these bits black, we're just kind of identifying everything that needs a new color. And so just kind of preparing it with a base coat. Yeah, I'd imagine it's going to take a while for all of the factions to be released with a starter set each. But I kind of dig the orcs. Okay, I really actually like the humans. They kind of like, yeah, they're very kind of Witcher, Nilfgaard kind of looking characters. So yeah, I kind of dig it. But yeah, I think from Adventures there's a few questionable sculpts. I was like not really feeling a lot of the sculpts from Adventures, and it didn't really excite me so much. But for the actual starter set of the skirmish game, that stuff looks, what is it they say, fire. It looks fire. I'm so old. It's not a term I'm used to using or hearing, but it's fire. Go over that bit as well. Let's make it all stand out. There we go. Star Wars Legions is a thing, isn't it? Yeah, Star Wars Legions looks fun. I would like to try it out. I would like to see what the game plays like. But yeah, I think it'd be fun to paint some of the minis as well. But again, it's just like where I am, no one's plays the games that I want to play. And certainly not the Japanese, as there's not really Japanese rule sets and stuff out. You have to kind of make them yourselves. And that's a bit of a job. Right, I wanted to do these kind of weird flaps a different color as well. Let's just mark these ones in. If you were to do Star Wars Legion, which army would you be interested in getting and painting? Are you a rebel scum? Yeah. Now the clones seem to be quite a popular choice, I think, for the armies. Just because, yeah, as models they work out pretty nicely. Them and the droids. The battle droid armies. Again, it's kind of hard with Star Wars, especially. Like, it's kind of hard to come up with like original color schemes. It's not going to be like, well, that's just not Star Wars kind of thing. Like with 40k and things, it's originally a models game, so kind of the lore is built around. There are tons of chapters out there and offshoots of chapters, so just paint them with whatever colors you like, and you can make your own chapter and stuff. Star Wars Legion are a little bit more tricky. Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. That would look really cool. This is a very happy song playing in the background. I am surprised. I was going to say this sounded very Japanesey. Okay. Right, I think I've kind of covered all of the bits now that I think will help stand it out, which I think has broken up the model quite nicely. That means I was like, is there too much red? But now that I've kind of gone over with the black, I can kind of see what the balance is like, and I'm pretty happy with where it's at, to be honest. This is all right. I might just kind of go into the gaps of the vent there, just to make them a little bit more defined. So I'll do that one black, but I'm going to need a finer brush for that. Panel liner would be good actually, just to use for this. No, I'm not calling it done. I'm just marked out the bits that I need to paint a different color. The guns and stuff are not done, they're just based. I just painted them black so I could see where they were. But I've still got to paint them. We've also got to do the glow from the backs of this vent here. So I've got to choose what kind of color of glow I'm going to do. So that's also something to think about. So I can put in some contrast, maybe a green glow or something like that, maybe. Would be kind of fun. Or maybe a yellow glow, kind of thing, like a fiery glow. Match the eyes that we got going on there. That'd be kind of cool. Not fully gunmetal grey, no. I'm going to do them with a kind of like there's going to be a bit of gunmetal, but a bit of like beige kind of plastic covering and things like that. A bit like a modern gun in the military, where they've got some of the different bits of color on there. Like if it was like camo green or something like that, you know. But sometimes it's like the desert beige kind of thing. I don't know if I'm going to do a green glow in the guns. I was thinking of glow on the backs here, with these bits coming out of here. But I might do it the same as the eyes, to kind of get that kind of match going on. I've already got the green here for some of the inner parts of the armor. So I don't know. Right, well, what we are going to do though is we're going to mix up a little bit of a grey. So mix in those together, a little touch more black, get a nice darkish grey. There we go. Okay, this is going to be our initial grey that we use. And you know what, I'm probably going to have to mark out first actually where I'm going to have the plasteel type of thing. So I'm going to use a brown for that, I think. And we will use a dark umber. Will be good for the base for that one. We use Pro Acryl for that. There we go. Just pop some of that down. Extra there. There's always a little bit of an extra dollop that comes out the top of a Pro Acryl paint pot. So I'll try and mark out where all this is going to go. This is where I figure out where the two-tone change is going to be. So that panel in there. I think that's all of that bit there. I think that's where I'm going to go with it. Yeah. we'll get this gun done first, and we'll try and see if we like it or not, and then I can do the rest. First, I'm going to just mark in the same areas on the other side, which is just tricky because it's harder to see. At the same time, if I muck it up, people aren't going to notice it as much anyway. Keep on reminding myself of that. This is always the tricky bit, is getting into those hard to reach places. I'm just focusing in on this thing as best as I can. Okay, I think that kind of marks that bit out for us. Let's go in and do the gunmetal part. So we've got our grey here. Let's go in with the grey. Let me start marking in. Just kind of roughly move around, highlighting in places. Not being too exact with anything. Just kind of lightening up some areas, leaving some black in others. So it kind of helps some areas stand out more than others, but mostly build that contrast. It's all about the contrast. We won't see it yet, but in time it will get there. Alright, I'm going to bring in a touch of turquoise into the grey. This will make it just have a little bit of colour in the gunmetal. So it's not just pure black and white. Pure black and white sometimes looks a little bit odd, like something's missing. It's too perfect to have something like purely in its black and whites. So just throwing in a little bit of colour can change it up a little bit. And it doesn't need to be a lot. It's a real subtle bit. So we've muted it right down. But what will happen now is the greys will read a little bit colder because of the blue that's mixed in there. And that should contrast quite nicely with the warmer beige that we're building in as well. So we're going to build in a little bit more white. Just move this up a little bit. There we go. A bit tonally a little bit lighter. use the edge of my brush to edge highlight some of those parts there. Go a little bit lighter. Be careful. If I go too light, it might look a bit odd. We making it look a little bit odd now. But there you go. It's like looking like. Hopefully, it's looking a bit like gunmetal. Hello, Go For It Painting. How are you doing? Thank you very much. Are you painting anything today? I'm just not looking forward to the fact that I've now jumped into this and I know I've got to do 9 more miniatures like this. It's going to be a bit of a mission. Brown. Make sure that it's done brown. Are you doing any painting today? Got any projects on the go at the moment? Okay, now I'm going to be moving this up to a kind of a. I want to do a kind of a beige kind of color. So we'll use a golden brown. I'll move up to the golden brown, but we've got to mute it down. So a bit of black and a little bit of white mixed in as well. Just maybe to mute it, otherwise it would be a bit too much. I don't know, it's actually kind of a nice color. We'll see how it goes. I might mute it down. I think we will have to mute it down. But let's just get some of that there. Mixed in with the brown there is nice. When I first put it on, I thought, uh-oh, it's way too bright. I always forget, and you just give it a few seconds and the paint dries and it dries dark. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. That is actually the kind of color I want it to be. Just kind of try going up a little bit lighter. Just see what happens. That's too much. Again, hard to turn until it dries. But it's drying darker. Making for a nice little transition there. I think that's all right. Let's try going up a little bit more. Just seeing how far we can push this before I go, yuck. Nope, I like it. This was the right choice of color. I think this is gonna look kind of nice as a color on the gun there. I think that would be pretty cool. Let's do the rest of it. Too heavy there. We'll get away with it. Excuse me. Yeah, this is going to take me forever to do the 10 models. Say forever. First one's always going to take a bit longer because you're kind of working out the color scheme. Once you have this one down, you have a kind of a formula there. Okay, let's move it up to the next tone. Takes a bit of time, but being patient with it, kind of make sure you're transitioning and the texture that it kind of gives off is the right type of texture. Hopefully. It has a lot to do with the choice of the colour. How that often comes out. Here I think we got just the right colours. pretty much exactly as I imagined the gun to be, which is rare when I'm painting. Usually it's like, oh, it wasn't quite what I was going for, but it looks pretty cool, so we'll go with it. This is actually pretty much what I had in my mind of how I wanted the gun to go. Which is nice. It's always nice when that happens. Now we go with pretty much the pure golden yellow. Golden yellow, can't remember the name of the paint now, but the good thing is it's already kind of pale, which is kind of nice. Looks really well. There we go. And that's kind of the scheme for the gun. Hopefully makes it stand out quite a bit from the rest of the model. I quite like that. If I had more red, it would be really annoying, but this kind of breaks it up quite nicely. The Torchlight Brigade are not a subtle army, so they don't need to worry too much about blending in and camo and things like that. So they're just like, we're here, boys. Give them a show of force. Got to do the underside though, which is kind of annoying. So let's just put a bit more brown there, a bit more of you there. Get that initial coat going. Oops, sorry, I'm not staying in the shot, am I? Oh my god, I can't speak anymore. Don't go too crazy on the sides, I can't really see everything. As long as we kind of give an impression of it. Midway mix. I lean a little bit more towards the golden yellow. It's still a little bit drab from the brown. There we go. And then a final one from Michal, from its lightest point. I think that's all we need. Don't need to go crazy. Just need to give an impression of it on the back side. This is the bit that's important because this is the bit you see most of all. Okay, well now we've got to do the same for the little shotgun he's got there, a little hand cannon, and his little paramedics pistol-y thingy as well. So there's a little vial there, so the vial we can do another colour, just to kind of show that it's something a bit different. First, there's the grey. Let's do the shotgun over here. I'm going to take a touch of the turquoise, we'll mix that one in. Take a touch of the white, mix that one in. We get a lovely mid-tone. And that, those on elements of here, just to give it a little bit of blue into the grey. Still reads as grey, but there is an element of blue there, and it does have an effect on how you kind of see the image of the gun is holding. This kind of gives it a colder element to it. So again, pure greys, they look off. Your eye just naturally goes, that doesn't look right. That's why I think like the Citadel paint, rust grey, is such a good paint. It's basically just a cold, very cold blue-grey, which you can easily make yourself with the right colours. But as a out-of-the-box thing, out-of-the-pot thing, it's a really good, paint. Sometimes, if I want to make the gun look like it's been used, I'll sometimes put a little bit of orange on the end of the nozzle to show like where it's been fired. I don't think it's a very realistic effect, but it kind of looks good. Alright, we're looking pretty good. Let's bring in the browns. Go. Now I can build in the next layer. Let's put in a bit more of that brown, a bit more of that gold yellow. Get a fresh batch going. Oops, sorry, I'm off screen there. Maybe that's something we can do with the channel points. We can have like a poking sound or something to tell me if I'm not on screen properly. your golden yellow. Golden yellow, remind myself. Okay, right, like there's that bit there. The next bit is going to be the shotgun here. The kind of the little part around it that's holding it, the little casing. This is going to be a golden yellow. Alright, we've got some of that brown in. Now, let's refresh it a bit. Get a mix going there. And building up those lighter browns as we go. We'll figure out how I'm going to paint the little bags as well. Do we do them in this kind of beige kind of colour, or we do something a bit different? I feel like we've got to do something a bit different, otherwise they're just going to clash against one another. Doing these guys' bases is going to be a mission, because I make the bases out of plastic card. I do these kind of like sci-fi Concilium Prime style bases. And they take a bit of an effort to make. That's what I did for my previous O12, and I kind of want to keep the theme going. So they look really nice. They just take a lot of work. So I may even do that one on stream sometime so you can actually see how their bases are made, if I remember how to do them. They're kind of fun. They just take a while. All right, now we've got some. All right, let's do these metal things here. We'll do these in the first of all, the regular grey, the dark grey. Okay, we can build in a little bit of that turquoise again. Build in a little bit more white. That looks okay. Kind of at least put some colour onto those bits there. So I've got these bags. Where might we go with these bags? I'm wondering. So I'm going to start off with the brown anyway. Just get them started with brown, but we're going to change it up a little bit. I realise it's got a knife as well. I haven't done that. Any other little bags or anything? No, I think that's it. Kind of doing a very quick job for the knife. Nothing spectacular. Can't really see it anyway. Just a little paint on there just to show it's there and we haven't forgot about it. Hee. Okay. That's all the guns done there. Let's go back to the bag here. Hey, there's Omcob. Yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying painting this Torchlight Brigade model. I'm having a lot of fun. We're very close to finishing kind of the main bit of him. So, we'll take some of that. We'll take a bit of this. Then we're going to desaturate it a bit with some black. And some white. And what that does is it desaturates it a lot more, changes the tone of it, so it's not as strong, but I think it still looks good. I quite like it. So it's not as strong as the beige that we've got there. We can still work in highlights and it'll be its own thing then. I mean, how are you doing there, Zomcob? Are you good? Hope you're well. Oops. That's the one I want. It's been a little bit, hasn't it? Oh, that's good. Are you working on any models today? Or recently? Ooh, Plague Marines, fun. Imagine they're lots of fun to paint. Never actually painted a Plague Marine. get to be all sloppy goo goo. What kind of theme are you going with your Plague Marine? What kind of diseased ideas do you have? Just realised this one's got a cross on the top there. So I'm wondering if I do a red cross on the top. I'm not sure if I do. He's already got so much red. I think those pouches look nice. They're looking okay. Interesting. Taking care of themselves. Got a bit of hygiene going on. Oh. Right, now I'm gonna get me some orange on the palette here. Is it orange? It's orange. No, it's not. It's this one. Scrofulous brown. That's what I want. Let's take some of you. Into there. Haha, yeah. Is there any particular music you're after? Okay. BIS. Why am I blanking on that? Alright, we're going to try and make a glow for these. Scrofulous next. Starting to look like a glow. A bit more white. You can kind of see it there now, starting to look like a glow. Go a bit more white. Just centered. Just centered. There we go. And I think our model, apart from the base, of course, is complete. So there's our first Torchlight Brigade model. I think he's come out pretty well. Anything we should change or add to it? There's a lot of red, but I kind of like it. Trying in my mind not to draw comparisons to 40k Space Marines right now. But yeah, that's kind of like, if we go with that as a color scheme, I think 10 of these guys on the board are going to look pretty cool. It's just going to take me a while to paint them all. There we go. Probably touch up some of the blue a little bit more. Be a bit brighter in places. But these are good. These ones are for myself, yes. Actually, it was very kind of Corvus Belli. They sent these ones to me for free, which is really cool. So yeah, there's some more of these kind of guys to do. Crusader types as well, along with a fairly big fella as well that I've got to do. Yeah. And there's, apart from these 10, there's also another 6 reinforcements plus another model to do. So this is then based, and then I'll kind of work on them. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that one's turned out. Yeah, I think if it wasn't for me, I probably wouldn't put in as much effort as I did with this particular model. 'Cause doing 10 of them, if I was doing a commission of this squad, it would take me a while. If I was doing that, I'm just enjoying it for myself. And when they're all done, I'll probably scan them in, make some 3D models out of them. I can use them in Tabletop Simulator, or possibly in one of my future battle reports if I ever finish and learn how to do those in Blender. That'd be kind of interesting though. Hopefully I get there. But yeah, been enjoying this one. It was fun. I'll try and take some nice photos. I'm not going to do the base until I've finished all of the models. Once that's done, that's done. That's going to be good. I've got some Malifaux primed as well, ready to start painting my Dreamer crew. This is Corpelius. It'll be a kind of a fun one to paint. I'm going to try and go for these guys. I'm going to try and go for an interesting color scheme of going from purple and then shading up through reds and to a kind of a very light pale orange yellow is kind of like the idea. So it's a very kind of weird, no pun intended, weird kind of gradient and color scheme kind of thing. pretty intense kind of colours. Hopefully quite an intense transition of colours will make a kind of a good looking Dreamer crew. That'd be fun. Still got to get some models for them. Alright. Well, that I'm going to call a night for tonight. Thank you very, very much, everyone, for joining. It was a pleasure, as always. I'm not going to be streaming on Saturday, as I'm going to be in Wakayama from tomorrow morning. I'll be going to Wakayama for a few days to see the Japanese family, and then I'll be back after that. But I probably won't be streaming until the following Tuesday, maybe. I've also got a long work week as well when I get back to work there, so we'll see how that goes. I will try to be on at least for an hour or so to get some painting done. That'll be all right. But otherwise, yeah, have a lovely time, everyone, and I hope to see you all later. And yeah, thanks for joining. Take care, everyone. I'm gonna go and chill for a bit, maybe play some 7 Days to Die or something like that. I've been recently doing a bit of that. That's been kind of fun. Anyway, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Screw it. Get myself a really nice light that's gonna last me. And so I was like, let's just go for the R9. Let's do that. And it just coincided with Redgrass's Kickstarter that they've just had recently for their new miniature holder. I really love their miniature holder, so getting some new ones with some larger bases is going to be great as well. So excited for that, for sure. If I had either the time or the money, these are like Kickstarters I'm interested in that are running at the moment. Terror on Cursed Waters. It has these absolutely fantastic